Hey everyone, this is OneManZerg with the UEN.com, casting SC2GG.com's European Union Finals Week 7, and this is between AgFoxGnom, I have such trouble with his name, and Mikami, his or her name I should say. And they are playing on the ICCup match point map, and so it's an interesting map. I haven't actually seen it before, so let's check it out. It looks like your base is here, and there's a a base you can get to there. Looks like potentially a third expansion, and then up from your main is your primary expansion here, which has some funky crystals in the back for probably some help with the chokes in the early game. And then from there you have another option there, or here, which is farther from your main base. We can see Mikami's heading out with a scout early in the game. Pylon, nothing too cheesy looking like it's happening from either player. AgFoxGnom with his supply depot. And just to go over this is week 7 in SC2GG.com's weekly tournament, which is actually like a season. And then at the end of the 10 tournaments, they're going to play a final tournament, which is like the playoffs. And so everyone's getting points right now, and you get points by first place gets 10 points, second place gets 6, third gets 3, and then everyone who makes the round of 8 gets 2. And then also all players in the tournament get a point for just participating. And that's to help with the ranking system, so that someone can't just come win a tournament or two and then leave and say, hey, I won the most, or I had the highest percentage. So they have to keep playing, and that's because everyone gets points. So AgFoxGnom here with the barracks. Just still really standard play from both players. One assimilator going down, and then the tournaments. I think the final postseason tournament might come in a few weeks. I'm not exactly sure. I think they're working out some details on all this stuff. And then this is the Europe tournament. So there's 10 weeks for Europe, there's 10 weeks for North America, and both of them are happening right now. And then yeah, so their website has all these games that you can follow, and the tournament brackets and everything. So check out their website for that. Oh, and AgFoxGnom stealing the gas over here on his opponent's base. Is his SCV going to stay alive? It's getting attacked, but he is able to run away with 10 hit points, 5 hit points, and looks like they're going to try and take out this refinery. But AgFoxGnom is going to see everything that the Protoss player is doing and slow any kind of tech that he might have. So that's a good little trick for him. And then you can see he sets up a first perimeter at this choke point right here, and then might later expand to that. Very interesting creation of this map. It's very defensive, and then these ledges might help Terran, who could drop some tanks right here and kind of inverse ledge that Protoss player. And the Protoss going with a very early expansion on one gate, expanding, thinking the Terran player is not actually going to find that out, and you can see he doesn't see that happening. And the Terran player just on one barracks, so not going for any kind of early push right now. Here we go, going with the early expand again. And AgFoxGnom, just so everyone probably watched the first game already, but he took the first game. He did do a strategy very similar to this, which was a quick expand, and it was with the Terran, and then he macroed up after that and was always ahead of Mikami in terms of economy, and then at the end played a little back and forth while dropping troops in the back of Mikami's base while putting pressure on the front of his base with his army, and making Mikami go back and forth, and just really outmaneuvering him strategically there. And then here he comes with this Scout Reaper. So yeah, Reapers got tanked a little in the latest patch, right? They're slower to build, and you can't rush as easily with them, blah blah blah, but you can still use them very effectively for early game scouting. And we can see this Reaper is going to easily get in the back of AgFoxGnom's base and see no hidden tech or anything. Oh, and he is going to get taken out. That was very crucial. So let's see what the Terran player actually saw right now. He doesn't know that this step's going down. He just sees a pylon. But 2 more gates are going down right now, and he also missed the expansion. So not knowing that, he doesn't know if he should push or not. He just knows he probably needs to go in and scout again to really get a good feel for what he's doing. Same build as last game again. Double barracks coming down when the command center is changing into an orbital command center before he flies it to his expo. And then look at the Terran, pretty good with the scouting. And here he comes in, and he does see the expansion of the Protoss player and working pretty effectively. So he's definitely gonna have to try and push out here soon, or get his expo moving and try and catch up in the macro game, because it looks like Mikami is ahead in the macro game. We can see right now, getting slightly ahead in harvesters, and he is on 2 established base while the Terran player is still landing his base over here. And then Mikami's probably going to start finishing warp gates, and then he's going to turn that into 3 or 4 or maybe 8 warp gates like last time. Try and get some troops and push out on this Terran player. And the Terran player just still checking over here, taking out this pylon, or not, just waiting for some homies before he shoots it again. And Mikami just holding back his base, really I think focusing up on that macro game, as he's constantly training probes at both bases. And then got 3 warp gates down right now, and probably going to drop some more real soon, so he can start really putting some pressure on the Terran player. The Terran player keeping up at the harvester count. You can see the mules are actually putting him ahead in the crystal, or the mineral crystal category, but still behind in the gas. So the Protoss player, who's a very gas intensive race, is able to get that gas up more and focus on that. And then going with a starport here. So it looks like the same exact build. Gonna get that ball with medevac support, the triple M threat. See, in terms of the army size, about the same count, and then you subtract the harvesters. That means the Terran army is actually 2 unit count higher. So very similar army size, and very similar play from both players. So let's see what Mikami sees. Mikami doesn't actually know he's expanded. Doesn't know anything that's going on right here. The Terran player's done a really good job of keeping out any of his scouts. See, does he have a observer? Doesn't even have an observer, so he's kind of playing blind right now. Definitely not a good position to be in at this point. I don't even know if he knows what troops to try to counter. I guess a little bit marauders. That's all the info he has. And yeah, just focusing on that economy. Oh, getting a Colossus here. A little different tech than he did last game. He's got his robotics bay working on the extended thermal lances. That's a must get for all Colossus, and it makes them so annoying and so devastating. And I think it's like a 9 range, so they severely outrange most structures, or all structures, and most units on the ground. And the Terran player is not getting tanks, because really tanks are a pretty effective way of dealing with Colossus. They do such massive damage and at such long range that they can deal with the Colossus in a few hits, and make sure that the Colossus's extended thermal lances aren't really doing a lot of damage to them, because they need to come in and get shot by the tanks first, as opposed to just outranging the army. And still, Mikami doesn't know anything about what the Terran player has, and the Terran player does know that AgFox has these structures, but he doesn't know about the Colossus that are coming. So let's see how that changes the Terran player's build once the Terran player does realize that he does have Colossus. I think he's just going to keep it the exact same. And here we go. It's coming in, scouting that robotic space, so he knows the Colossus are coming. And still just going with this, gets his Ghost Academy up. So still same thing as last game, switching into some Viking construction though. He does notice those Colossus, so gives him a little bit of advance warning by flying in this structure to check out what his opponent has. And then Mikami getting a little bit more scouting in, but really not able to tell anything that's going on. Let's look at the army side. The Protoss player is getting a slight advantage right here. Is it a probe advantage? No, it's an actual army advantage. He's up almost 10 units on the Terran player. And AgFoxGnom with that back of the base drop. And he loves to do this multiple locations. So he might drop back here, then drop here. He doesn't have enough to support the front. Trying to deal with this structure real strategically. Getting his troops in there. And then here's the drop coming in over here. Going to be able to do some damage to that army, but Mikami does fight him out in the back, and then gets these Colossus in there to really handle those troops that are running away. Oh, and these Stalkers are going to get, yes, they get one of the medevacs. That is so devastating. 8 units worth of space. I think it was full or almost full, and Mikami definitely gets a little, he gets a little victory there. We can see he keeps up. Didn't lose that many harvesters, was actually ahead before, and now he's behind, but not by much. He pulled them out and then had the troops effectively in 2 positions this game to deal with AgFoxGnom's multiple attacks at the same time. which last game that was more or less Mikami's downfall. We see that almost a 20 unit advantage here in terms of army size. So Mikami might be feeling pretty confident soon to push out. He does have 2 Colossus. He does have 4 Colossus. So let's see, is that all he has? Yeah, 4 Colossus. So that's a really strong amount to push out. Remember, I think 2 Colossus will instantly kill a Marine, and then if they have their shield upgrade, then it might not kill the Marine depending on the armor. So having 3 Colossus will insta-kill lines of Marines, so that's really effective for the Terran player to, or for the Protoss player to have. It's kind of one of those critical mass issues. And then just such dense damage with the Stalkers at the feet of the Colossus. It's a very balanced army. And then AgFoxGnom does know that this army is coming at him. He just saw that. Sending out some medevacs. Don't know if this is too wise. Yeah, just get him taken out. I don't know what he was doing there, sending those out, and then the one medevac he has 20 hit points left.
Mineral field.
Did some Vikings over here. He's going to be able to reasonably deal with these Colossus if you start shooting them. Oh, and the Vikings are just over this ledge, able to get peppered by these Stalkers. Really needs to utilize that Viking range more. These Colossus are tearing up these troops in here. Let's look at those hit points all go down so fast. And the Protoss player just overwhelming army here. There's the GG from AgFoxGnom. And there's someone saying hi. So AgFoxGnom goes down in game 2 to Mikami, who actually macroed faster than AgFoxGnom. So first game, AgFoxGnom expands really quickly, gets a macro advantage. Neither one attacks until mid to late game when they have sizable armies. In this game, Mikami expanded even faster than AgFoxGnom, got the macro advantage, successfully defended this drop in the back while dropping at the expansion just seconds later. Did a very good job splitting his army with that. And then really the tech advantage that he had with Colossus, getting some great positioning advantage right here in this fight, made it so his army, which was significantly larger than the Terran player's army, was also very effectively used in this fight, really crowding that ramp control and using those extended thermal lancers. Haha, didn't even notice that. Look at that, Colossus, 1 hit point left. Oh, you hate your life, Terran players. Anyways, that was game number 2 of SC2GG.com's weekly European tournament of week 7. This is OneManZerg with UEN.com signing off. Right after I say that you need to check in for game 3 to see who wins this best of 3 series.